Hiya, welcome to Imagine Design Create and welcome to our launch weekend. This is our first launch of 2018, so first launch of the year. We've been really excited about this launch because we've got some fabulous new stamp ranges that we want to introduce to you, and also we are just reminding you of some of our favourites from 2017 that have come back in stock. We have a new design team. They have created some fabulous samples for us. I'm with you for part 2 of this launch. Kerry Ann has been with you already today for part 1 and shown you some fabulous samples from the rest of the team. But I wanted to chat with you today to introduce you to my new stamp designs, and I've created some samples for you. So as you may know if you've followed us in the past, the stamp ranges that stamp collection that I've introduced to Imagine Design Create is this concept of nesting stamps. I already have the nesting circles, squares, rectangles, etc. But now I've introduced to the range the nesting hearts and the nesting flowers. The more I've actually created with these and started stamping with them, I've actually fallen in love with these designs. I'm so pleased that we brought these ones to the range, and hopefully you will enjoy creating with them too. So as you can see, as the name suggests, they are a nesting shape. So you have the hearts and the flowers. This video I should concentrate on the hearts. I shall do another video to show you the samples from the flowers, but as you can see we have basically the same design of heart but going down in decreasing sizes, and as I show you the samples you will see that these do actually fit within each other. Also, as you may also know, with my nesting shapes I also do an A6 set of the solid shapes. So I've got the solid hearts here. Both stamp sets can work independently of each other, but equally if you do purchase the two, they work really well because these solid shapes are designed to fit within these outline shapes that we have here. So as you can see, just as I lay them together, you can see that the shapes do correspond. And we have this heart going over to this distress image here, and this larger heart does in fact fit within that larger of the nesting shapes there. So with these solid stamps I also have some sentiments and some words that coordinate, and I've added another little couple of hearts there. Now this look, as you may see, I've gone for a more distressed look. This stamps out really nicely and gives lovely texture on any of the cards that you make. Now also in this launch I have designed this set of ampersand stamps. Now this has been a trend for quite a while now, and when I'm stamping it's actually quite nice to have a choice of sentiments to have on the front of the card or the project that you're making, but also it's nice to actually make the sentiment and the words the main focal point. So by making these the ampersand and some of the words slightly bigger, you can really make a focal point of the words here. So I'll show you some of the samples that I've created with them, and you can really see how these words come into their own then. So here I've used the solid hearts, and you can see I've used them in different shapes, so you can see all the different sizes, so you can see how they actually work with each other. I've used some silver embossing. But then I've also taken the words from the ampersand set and embossed that small ampersand that you can see in there as well. Can you see? Now hearts don't always need to be stamped in pink, so this would be lovely for a guy perhaps for Valentine's, or even a wedding couple whose colour scheme perhaps might be purple, or you can adapt it to suit. So you can see on this one here I've used craft card, but this is a perfect example of how the shapes and how the hearts actually nest together. You can see that they go down in really nice sort of incremental sizes and can be stamped within each other to give you that nesting effect. Now this is all just one flat piece or single layer stamping that we've got there, and I've just added some shading around the outside just to give it a little bit of dimension. It looks really nice and soft on this white, on the craft card there, and I've embossed it in white and just added a little bit of colour into the detail. Again, here you have a nice little sentiment from the Ampersands set in a nice little font. Now here I've used the solid stamps again, the solid hearts, you can see here. And this shows that you can just use the solid hearts as a standalone stamp set. You don't need to have the nesting outlines to go with them. And just with a little bit of masking, I've again created a one layer card. You can see there it's completely flat, but added lots of dimension just by layering and masking off some of the hearts. I've used these in pastel colours because I wanted to show you how layering over the sentiment over the top in a darker colour really makes that card pop, and you can make the sentiment the focal point of your card. Now the card here, I've done something a little bit different. It's just a small card, and although we haven't got the dies for these, what I've done, I've stamped the larger of the outline hearts and actually cut away the centre. To make it slightly more modern, I've just off-centred it so it comes off the card, and stamped the greeting from the solid set in the aperture there. Again, it would be a really nice Valentine's card for a guy if you don't want to go too soppy with them. And with a monochrome look, which I know is Kerry's favourite, I think that's just really striking. So I've done something very similar with this card. I haven't cut away the aperture, but what I have done is just layered the nesting hearts in one another and added the smallest in red, just for that little focal point again, and embossed a word, the love word from the Ampersand set there. Now this card is something a little bit different again. It's gone quite modern. I've used the nesting heart outlines in some of my favourite colours. These are the colours that I would reach for whenever I create any project, and just layered them and used some of the accents that also from the A5 nesting stamp set. These are accents that I've created just to fill in the flower shapes, but I think they work really well in amongst the hearts as well. And this sort of sentiment, this sort of design can work for any birthday cards, any thank you cards. Here you can see how I've layered the sentiment again. Now we've gone traditional with the solid hearts here, so this would be perfect for a Valentine's, which I know is coming up soon. I've embossed the love there in gold embossing powder. Again, this is just another flat card. This is my favourite sort of style that I like to create in, really, single layer stamping, but I just want to show you that you can create depth and interest with stamps and not add too many embellishments if that's not your particular style. But you can see how I've layered all the solid hearts, the larger in the background in the paler pink, and I've made the smaller ones pop with a stronger colour. And you can see how the texture of these stamps really add interest. And just to pick out some of the larger heart or the darker hearts there, I've added the outline. Now you can see you don't have to line them up entirely or really neatly, because I think that just gives a really nice edgy modern look. These ones, for example, they do fit perfectly round, but that just gives a really nice sketchy look, which is what I really want to help you try and achieve with your cards with these designs. Now the last one that I have here is a really simple card but really effective, and it would make a lovely design for wedding invitations. Again, you can see that the ampersand stamps are actually taking centre stage there as part of the design, and I've actually embossed them in gold embossing powder, as you can see. And I've just taken 2 sizes of the nesting heart outlines, stamped them in a lovely coffee colour that goes with the gold embossing, and that's just a really nice classy way to use your stamps. So thanks for joining me today. That's the first of my stamp collections for Imagine Design Create for 2018. We have the nesting hearts, which is an A5 set and also includes the flowers, as you can see. And we have the solid hearts that correspond but equally can work as a standalone set. And then we have the ampersands, which give you plenty of wording and plenty of sentiments put in front of those on those cards also. All of these sets are available on our website, imaginedesignCreate.co.uk. We also have an Etsy store where these sets can also be purchased. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and then you can get notifications and you can keep up to date with any more of our future launches. And we have plenty of videos that give you lots of inspiration on how to use all of our sets. Thanks for joining me. See you again. Bye.